Assalamu alaikum everyone. This is a revisit for lesson 8.3, graphing quadratic functions. And inshallah today we will have one example and we will see the steps again, and hopefully you will have it and it will help you inshallah. There will be an assignment, a reteach paper. Please solve it and do the assignment. And there's no due day, so you can do it at any time you want. What is a quadratic function? The function with that form, the standard form that we're talking about, this is the quadratic function. So as you can see, a x squared plus bx plus c. A, b, c are fixed. So whenever we're talking about a, that is the coefficient of x squared. All right. Now the graph is a U shape. Whether it's looking downwards or looking upwards, both are called parabola. Why we study quadratic functions? They are very important for our daily life. We have a lot of applications. Some examples are like the water in a drinking fountain, the McDonald's golden arches, and the path of a basketball. Let's start with the example. Please prepare your notebooks. Take notes. It's not just watching the video, lovelies. You have to be active and take the notes and try by yourself. Bismillah. First, you have to find the vertex. How do we find the vertex? A vertex is a point. So the point contains of x coordinate and y coordinate. The x coordinate is this, negative b over 2a. Remember the equation? a squared plus bx plus c. This is the b and a that we're using. You have to memorize this. To find the y, we plug the coordinate we got in x coordinate in the vertex, and we put it in the y in the equation, and here you go, you get the y. I want you to remember the steps. Write them down on the top of your notebook. The steps are 5 simple steps. The first one is to find and plot the vertex. So the minute you got these two things, you will have a point, which is this one. In this example, you graph it on the grid sheet. Next, we need to find the axis of symmetry. The axis of symmetry is this one. So wherever you have the vertex, we just have a vertical line, extended line, and we will call it the axis of symmetry. Why it's called this way? Because it's going to split the graph into two identical parts. So if you know, for example, the left part, so this line will make like a mirror, and the second part on the right will be the same exactly as the one on the left. Third step, we just pick two values of x. Basically, we use them on one side. So we pick two values of x on one side, then we reflect them as, in step 4, we use the symmetry to plot the 2 points on the other side. So if this point was here, one step away from this line, then the other point will be one step away with the same level, on the same level. So it's just like you're putting a mirror, and that's what we call it symmetry. The last step is to connect the points you had to make a curve, which is the parabola. Here we have a function. Let's try to do this. 2x squared minus 8x plus 6. This is a, this is b, negative 8, and this is c. So step number 1, define a, b, c. Step 1 is to use it, b and a, in a right way, then do the calculations, and the answer will be 2. Negative is positive, 2 times 2 is 4, 8 over 4 is 2. Now take this 2 and plug it in the equation and find the y. Use the PEMDAS to solve it, so the answer will be negative 2. And here you go, the vertex is 2, negative 2. Plot that. So we graph it, 2, negative 2. Step number 2. If x in the first part was 2, then we should have a line, a vertical line at x equals 2. So that's called the line of symmetry. Step number 3, let's pick two values of x, 3 and 4, for example. Here's x equals to 3, and here's x equals to 4, for example, depending on your graph. As you can see in this graph, we don't have that accurate or like visible division. However, you can pick whatever x's you want. Again, this is the result. I don't have the graph in the first place, so I need to graph this. But in the first place, after you do this, look at the x you got. Pick 2 points after this, so you can have 2 points before this. And I want you to recall 8.1. This is lesson 8.1 and 8.2. Remember it. You can go revise it in your book, inshallah. Then we plot them. Step number 2, as you got 3 and 4, what are the corresponding points? If 3 is 1 step away from 2, forward, what's the step or what's the point 1 step backward from 2? It's gonna be 1. And if 4 is 2 steps away from 2, then 0 is the point on the other side. Go ahead, pause the video if you want to think about this again. And I will ask you a question to like test your understanding. If I got the point 5, what's the corresponding point? It's going to be -1. Correct. ممتاز. The last step is to connect the points to make a curve, a parabola. Here's your turn now. Graph this equation and do the worksheet with the name Reteach. Submit it in the assignment and write me any comment. You can send me on the direct if you have any questions. I know you're doing a great job. I know it's kind of difficult for you to have and change the way of studying, but I do believe in you and I know you can do it. Keep up the hard work, and I'm here for you to ask me any questions.